Hello and welcome to the House of Vizsla, where we talk anything and everything Star Wars. I'm your host Tiger, and welcome back to this week's episode of This Is the Way, covering Mandalorian, Season 1, Episode 4, The Sanctuary. How are you, Echo?
I'm doing pretty well. Um, yeah, just had a break over the last week, so
Cool. What did you do fun during that break?
um, got to go up, spend a few nights with family. Um,
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah, I went home, did nothing productive besides go some shopping, went to Cedar Point, but did not get to watch the Star Wars episode that I wanted to do, so I did that literally 30 minutes before we started.
speaking of Cedar Point, my one friend wanted to get a group of us to go to Cedar Point, but none of us could find a time in which we were all free to do that.
Ooh, cool. Um, yeah, so how's classes going this week?
Yeah, so far pretty well.
Huh.
So far, this is on a Friday.
Yeah, Friday's the end of the week, so I know I had a exam on Wednesday, and Fives had an exam on Thursday night. Yeah, the statics and mechanics exam. So,
Ah,
but I think with that said, we probably want to go into our main discussion, but I think we haven't negotiated a question, but let's not do that until the end because we don't have Will of the Force this week. We
okay.
may. It depends. I don't know what my brain will come up with later in the show. So, with that said,
Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
so we've got Mandalorian, episode 4 of season 1, called The Sanctuary. It is 41 minutes long, and it is directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, who's the daughter of Ron Howard, who I was the director of Solo. And yeah, basically main premise of this episode is the Mandalorian teams up with an ex soldier to protect this farming village from raiders. Is everything okay?
Uh, to be honest, my mouse just decided to disconnect, so I just switched over to the other mouse I just so happened to have on hand.
So yeah, Echo's my roommate, and he's literally in the same room. So
Yeah, like right now we're what, like 5 feet apart,
yeah, we've got two
separated
desks.
separated by two computer monitors.
So but we start off the episode with the intro with the helmets as well as a recap of the previous episode. And they arrive on Sorgan and to try to find a place to hide from the bounty hunters after being on the run. And they meet Cara Dune, a former rebel shock trooper turned mercenary, and she thinks Mando's there to capture her. Had a fight, and then Rogu.
Also, doesn't Mando think she's here to collect the bounty on the child?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. But and then what else? Yeah. Then they shout war stories about post working for the rebellion slash New Republic and bounty hunting and stuff, like you do when you are on the run and you have experience in different things.
I mean, I can't say I've ever been on the run with experience, but
You have talked to people about random stuff.
Oh yeah, that's random stuff. Favorite pastime of mine.
Hey, with the amount of War Thunder you play, you probably have some stories you can tell. But there are some local farmers that approach Mando begging for protection from these raiders. Did you catch what type of raiders they were?
It started with a K, and it's like the same race as some sort of the
Howtoons?
pirates, like the Clotunians or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I got. Who have been attacking their village, but then Mando refuses, then says yes.
I found the name. It is Clotunian.
And
that's my best pronunciation.
Was able to recruit Cara Dune into helping train up these villagers to help defend themselves, because they have zero experience whatsoever. It reminds me of some of the previous Clone Wars episodes, where Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex ends up going to these villages and they have to defend them against separatists or bounty hunters.
Happened a few times, didn't it?
Yeah. Any? Did you catch anything else? In this
well, I mean,
segment?
there's the loaf cat inside the bar where they first landed.
Ah, cool. I think that was definitely a Dave Filoni tie-in. And then they are preparing for battle, and Mando and Cara Dune discovers the Raider has access to an old Imperial ATST walker.
That particular type is called the ATST Raider, and it was specifically redesignated for this episode.
And yeah.
I say about random.
Also, wow, how did they get their hands on one and also operate it well? If you have enough firepower, you could shoot it down. You also have a ship that you could move to the location. But we could talk about that later.
But that would be too plot convenient, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Then they worked on setting up a trap to lure the raiders out and then create a wall, as well as trained up some of the villagers to do different stuff. So what else? We've got, they start the attack at night because you've got the element of surprise, and Cara and Mando went in and blew up their hut and had to do some fist fighting but then the ATST started attacking them, and all you could see is just a red light in the darkness amongst the trees.
That's gotta be scary for the villagers too.
Yeah. And then with teamwork and strategy, Cara Dune and Mando was able to get the walker to step into the trap, and it falls. Mando destroys it with explosives, and the raiders retreat. And now there's peace in this village. But
Though, you know, like half of it has been shot up, but, you know, we're not going to address that part of the plot.
yeah, but it is only a short-term peace, because Mando's thinking about leaving the child here for safety. But there's a bounty hunter on its way with a scope and a target on Rogu. So tries to get a shot off, but
So specifically, it was a Kubaz species.
But Cara Dune saved the day again in this episode. And Mando decides that Rogu can't stay here, so they get ready to leave. So, cool moments / shots that you found.
I mean, I just really like the Loth Cat for some reason.
So the part that I enjoyed was Mando's in his ship, and you have just Grogu messing around on the controls, and it's like, oh, what's happening type stuff.
I wonder what this button does. I wonder what this button does. I wonder what this button does.
It definitely doesn't sound like something we might do in friends calls, or parents are driving, decides to mess with the radio or air conditioning.
Nope, not at all.
So there is that. And then, yeah, I think the ATST was like the coolest callback, but then seeing what happens when, like, someone who signed up to be a soldier for the rebellion now has to be like just security, seeing, oh, that's not what I signed up for, and left.
Yeah, and I mean, you said it earlier when Grogu was messing around with the buttons. One thing I noticed with that was that he was actually in the front seat instead of the back seat where he had been previously when he was just the bounty.
So there might have been like kind of like this parenthood idea going through, and like Mando slowly connecting with the child.
Sure didn't baby-proof his ship though.
So yeah, I've got nothing else, but so we end these the recaps and reviews with the count. Just a scale 1 to 10, what you'd rate it compared to everything else. What would you rate it?
I would give this one Probably like a 7.5, 8. It's a really good one.
I'm gonna say 8. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. There's some other episodes that are just better in Mandalorian to begin with, but we got to see more of the galaxy, and it's not just big battle or dangerous situation. Hey, it is dangerous, but we got to see like the lower back. So I'm gonna give it an 8 as well.
Isn't this also like the first time that Rebel shock troopers are introduced inside video canon?
Yeah, I think.
Because I know, like, in Battlefront, they have them. Of course, the only Battlefront I know is the Battlefront 2 2005 edition, so I can't really say much.
So we both chose 8. So we got 8 Mando heads for the count. We also got no input from anyone in our Discord. So if you're part of our Discord, it might be a good chance. Catch up on the episode or just rate it from what you could remember from it. It is yours. Oh, so.
Yeah, and to get your rating on the show, next at least, would be season 1, episode 5.
So, the show that I'll get rid of the, but with that said, if you have liked the content so far, make sure to like and subscribe, and also check out our audio feeds where we upload the episode the next day with just the audio. So if you're driving or just wanting to listen and not have a video running in the background, Spotify and the audio feeds are great for that. But let's go into the negotiations.
Yes, the negotiator, General Kenobi.
So this one actually came from myself. And it was basically, the question is, what are some reasons you think Din got a new Razor Crest for the upcoming movie instead of using his N1 Starfighter?
I still haven't seen the ad, so I would have no clue what you mean by new Razor Crest. But my guess, without any context whatsoever, would just be that the N1 didn't really have as good audience likeness. The audience didn't like it as much as the original Razor
Yeah,
Crest.
I think that's one idea. I also think that it would have. It's also like you can't really, if you're on a mission, you can't really have extra people. It's also cramped if you're traveling. So if I'm a pilot of an N1 fighter, it's a sports vehicle. I'm not driving it on a road trip. It's too cramped. You're sitting like this. Bad visibility. Hey, it's fast. It's a starfighter. But it's not a cargo ship. It's not like a family vehicle in Star Wars.
Travel across the ocean on a speedboat, would you?
Nope. But I think it's also just needed and also it's would be nice to have it. It's don't know the name. We are calling it a Razor Crest, but I think I've heard theories that it was either a gift from the magistrate of
Grief
Karga, played by the late Carl Weathers, as a way to like kind of connect him into the movie, even though of his passing.
Yeah, weren't they like filming the movie before he passed, or did I just hear that wrong?
I don't know. But what? But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's been some years since I stayed up in with some news of Star Wars filming. But what? Oh, also like and like clips from it back from Celebration, and when they've announced it and stuff, Zeb was inside the cockpit for a bit, so maybe it's something that the New Republic did. The guy bought him a new ship.
That would make sense if he's like doing things for the New Republic, which weren't. Yeah.
Which is what happens at the end of season 3. Is like,
I was just not saying that because spoilers.
hey, it's a recap of everything. It's been a ton of time.
Fair.
But you got an idea for Will of the Force if we were gonna do it?
Again, what's the Will of the Force?
A scenario, wacky, involving some characters. I think I have one. Yes. Time for Will of the Force. Well, one of us proposes a situation, and we have to choose something with it. And we have to say our reasons, and we can't change our answer after hearing what someone else thinks. So,
the Force is with me, and I am with the Force. And I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it.
that's Will of the Force. So, you have a choice of ship to fly, and you don't have to and you have a budget of 5,000 credits to modify it. It's start, paint, basic paint job, whatever. You have 3 options. You have a model like the Ghost, a Millennium Falcon, or the Razor Crest model. What type of ship would you choose, and what modifications would you add to it? The ship is for freedom. You have a budget to modify it.
I mean, all of them have their advantages and all of them have their disadvantages, right?
Yeah.
It's like the Razor Crest. I mean, the Razor Crest, we never really see what his sleeping quarters are like, do we?
Maybe clips of it. I'm not sure.
And we know that the Falcon has a large closet where Lando keeps his capes.
Make Solo 2 happen.
So I'd probably go with the Falcon base. It honestly feels like it's the roomiest of the 3.
How would you set it up and stuff? Because there's some configurations you can do to it.
Yeah, I feel like the configuration that they have for the movies seems pretty useful for it.
Alright.
Where it's like a little common room, one area with the berths, you got the 2 cannons and the hallway off the cockpit.
Okay.
Yeah, for the credits, probably put that into deflector shield and engines.
All right. All right. So I'm going with the ghost model. It just seems roomier. The Falcon is a great ship. I'm not gonna say it's not a great ship. It did destroy one of the Death Stars. But it's a cargo ship to push around stuff. It's also a freighter. It's not like
I mean, so is the Ghost.
but the Ghost was kind of more roomier. You had a crew living out of there, and it seems to have a better flow, better spaces. Plus, it had multiple bunks that you could set up to do different stuff, and I think it has better, having a nose gun, turret gun, and then also a spot for an auxiliary ship. So
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good question. Does the base Ghost come with a Phantom?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, it could just be the art style of Rebels, but the Ghost doesn't really feel like a home as much as the Falcon, per se. Like, you can tell that the Falcon is lived in, and the Ghost really just, aside from Sabine's art all over the place, to me it just doesn't feel like personal or something.
So, it's the VCX 100 light freighter. I love hate looking at stars.fandom that slash wiki. It is part of the VCX line, and it has a dorsal turret, some gun, and the VCX 100S also has a slot in between the main engines, into which a VCX series starfighter could dock. So it is made to have a dock. So
I mean, under the right conditions, you could modify the Falcon, like Lando did, to have a dock for, like, he put the escape pod there, but you could put something like the Phantom or Phantom 2 there.
yeah, so, and the Phantom is, I think, main base model, so I was looking at some stuff at Ferrex, because when I was looking at it, it said like the Ghost in 5BBY there was a VCX light freighter that was docked in the shipyards on Ferrex, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing one in Andor. In Andor.
It's also just like, I think, versatile because it can support multiple things, where the Falcon is limited, especially in it's fast for what it is. Hey, it made the Kessel run in 13 parsecs, which
Because, you know, who doesn't measure time in terms of distance?
Which, hey, that's saying something. Han Solo does not know physics.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of the Star Wars ships don't know physics either, so you know.
But it's Star Wars. it's outside of this world, so physics does not relate to Star Wars. But I think that with that said, I think it's time to end the show. So yeah, with that said, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our website. It has all the links, www.houseofvizsla.com. Link in the description, as well as on YouTube. So with that said, may the Force be with you.